Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be making a Puerto Rican dish called alcapurrias, and these are the ingredients that I'm going to be using. So here I have green bananas, I have one plantain, which is a platano, I have 1 pound of yautia, some salt, oil, annatto, this is what's going to give the color to the masa. I have some ground beef, green olives, adobo, sazon, and a can of salsa, which is tomato sauce. I'm also going to be using a machine to make my masa. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add 1 cup of oil. Just like this. And we're gonna come and add some of this into it. I will have the ingredients and the amount of what I'm using in the description. So we're doing this so we can add color to our masa. So I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna put my flames on medium to low. And I'm gonna come and just move it around, and we're gonna bring this to a little bit of a boil just so it can start getting its color. Okay, so once you see that it's starting to boil like this, you want to low down your flames. Just mix it around a little bit. You see how the oil is starting to get its color? That's what we want. So we're gonna leave it for like 2 more minutes. Okay, so now this is ready. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stir it one more time, and I'm gonna turn off the flame. Then we're gonna let this cool a little bit because this is really hot right now. So once it cools, then I'm gonna pour it into a mason jar, and then we're gonna jump to the next step. Okay, so now that it's been cooling a little bit, we're gonna pour it into a mason jar. So be very careful because it's still hot. This is my mason jar. I'm gonna come with a strainer, and we're gonna just pour it right over. And the reason why we're straining this is because we don't want them little bits. We just want the oil. So you're gonna be very careful and just pour this right over. And any bits that you have here, you can just get rid of them, throw them out. Because like I said, all you need is the oil. Just like that. And this is the way it looks. That's what's going to give color to our masa. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do now is the meat. So I'm going to turn on my flames to medium, and I'm gonna come and add my ground beef. Just like that. So once my meat starts sizzling like this, I'm gonna come with one of these, and I'm just gonna break it apart. And I'm gonna let it cook for a little bit, and then we're gonna come and season it. Okay, so this is continuing to cook. You don't want to see no red before we start adding the seasoning. So we're gonna let this cook just for a little more. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is come and I'm going to empty out this water with the oil that it took off in the meat. I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to come and add my seasoning. So I'm adding the adobo. Now I'm gonna add my packet of sazon. I'm gonna add my green olives. And just start mixing everything around. So now what I'm going to do is add my can of salsa. At the same time, I'm going to lower down the flames. Now I'm going to come and mix everything together. I'm also going to add some sofrito. Okay, so now I'm going to come and mix everything. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower down the flames to low. And I'm going to cover this so it can cook nice and slowly. So now I'm going to cover it. Okay, so I just want to show you. We're gonna come and mix this one more time, and this is done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off the flames. We're gonna let this cool down a little bit, and I'm gonna put it away in a bowl. So when we're ready to make our alcapurrias, it'll be ready. So now we're gonna jump to the next step in doing the masa. Okay, so now we're gonna get started with our ingredients for our masa. So I have the platano with the bananas. We're gonna come in, we're gonna break each banana. Apparently I'm using a little extra because the bananas that I'm using are a little small. So I'm just gonna show you how to do each. So what we're gonna do with our green bananas, we're gonna cut the tips just like that, and we're gonna slice it. You don't want to slice it too deep, but you just want to make sure that you can slice it enough that you can come and peel it just like this. I recommend, if you're gonna do a lot of these, use gloves, but since I'm not doing so much, I'm gonna use my hands because this and this, it does stain. Okay, so then you just come and you peel it and you put it to the side. It's easy, it's not that hard, unless you have a lot. If you have a lot, it's a little frustrating. I suggest you get help. But other than that, it's worth it at the end. And this is how it comes out. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing. Oops, let me get another knife because that one's out. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing with our plantain. We're gonna cut the tips and we're gonna slice. So for the plantain, I like to slice it 4 times instead of 2. Okay, and then start peeling. And it's that simple. When you get your bananas and your plantain, make sure they're super green and hard, because if you get it sweet or too soft, it's not gonna taste the same. And this is all you do. You're all done. And then for the yautias, what we're gonna do is just shave them up. Okay? Okay, so when you're finished cutting your bananas and your green bananas and your plantains, you want to put them in cold water so they won't change color. So I am going to show you how to cut your yautia, because they come like this and you don't want to keep this part. So you're going to take a knife and you're just going to start cutting that slice off, because you want it to be like this. You can get the white one, you can get the yellow one, it doesn't really matter, it's up to you. And you want to do that to both sides. Remember, you got to put some pressure. And that's all you do. Then you come and you just start peeling. And that's it. Once you peel it, you cut it into little pieces and you're all set to put it in the machine. Oops. I just want to show you. I think this is the easiest one. Just like that. Okay? So you're going to just shave it completely. So I just want to show you, this is the way it looks once it's shaved. So now we're going to cut it into little pieces, throw it in our cold water, and then we're going to start putting it in the machine. Okay everyone, so if so far you like what you're seeing, please don't forget to give me that big thumbs up and subscribe. So now we're going to come and we're going to start adding the yautia, the green bananas and plantain to our machine. My machine is kind of loud, so prepare yourself. It does come with a cover, so when you're adding, nothing can splash out. And yeah, so let's get started. I'm gonna be very careful. Now I'm gonna start adding. Don't be afraid to add, just add. Now you're gonna see everything just coming out. Oh, my dog is kind of nervous with the sound. Okay, just continue adding. And that's it. So now you're gonna come with like spatula, one of these, and you're just gonna help it out, and you're just gonna bring it down. Like I said, I'm not making a lot, so this is a really good machine. I recommend it. You usually can buy them in supermarkets, and I mean usually a lot of people hand make them, but okay, and that's it. Okay, so this is the way my masa came out. What you want to do is just mix everything together. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it like that. And we're going to check our machine. Because we're going to open it and we're going to take out what's left in there. Okay, so I'm going to come. I'm going to twist this. Take it off. And you see that? We're going to scrape that off. Because that's all masa and you don't want it to go to waste. Look, watch. Let me see. See that? We're gonna scrape that off. Okay, so this is the way the inside looks. I already scraped it off from the top part. Now I have to take the Allen key. I have to take this apart, and there's more masa in the inside that you have to remove. For some reason, I don't know why it goes down, but it does. So we're gonna do that now. Okay, so I just loosened it. I just want to show you. Once it's loose, you come, this is the bottom, and look at all this masa that's in here. See this? It's a lot. So you're just gonna come and just take that out. You can just come and you can make it go to the bottom like that. Because this is so good, you don't want nothing to go to waste. The only thing about this machine is that it does take a lot of cleaning, but it's all worth it. Okay, so you come and just look at that. Look at all that. Watch. You see that? It's a lot. Look at that. You come and just put it in. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is clean the machine real quick from anything. And I'll be back. Okay, so now we're going to season our masa. You just want to make sure everything is incorporated together. Okay, so now you're gonna come with your salt and you're gonna add so you can have some flavor. I usually put, let's see, maybe like 3 or 4 teaspoons, to be honest. And then I'm gonna mix that together. The good thing about this is that you can always mix it and then taste to see how it tastes with flavor. You don't want it to be too salty because remember, you are adding ground beef to this, and the ground beef alone has seasoning. So you just want to mix it really good. You don't want to leave no chunks of salt in one place. So you want to make sure when you're mixing, you're smashing at the same time. And then you could come and take a little piece like this. I don't know if you're gonna want to, but you just taste it. See if it's good. And you know what? I'm just gonna use a little bit more salt. That's why I said like 4 teaspoons. Just like that. And then I'm gonna mix it again. Okay, so this is seasoned to my liking. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up my achiote, and we're gonna start adding little by little. The achiote is what gives the masa some color. I don't like mine to look pale. Okay, so I'm just gonna pour it little by little like that. And just mix. Make sure you mix it really good, because you don't want to mix it a little bit, it still looks pale, and then there's a lot of oil still inside. And to be honest, this is one of my favorites. I love alcapurria. What's alcapurria and pasteles, my favorite. I am gonna make a video of pasteles next. So I want to add a little bit more, like right there. And I think that's gonna be enough for this. Okay, so this is the way it looks. And that's it. I don't need to add any more achiote. This is the color I want it to be. A lot of people don't add this. They add packs of sazon. I mean, you can do it that way too, but I prefer the original way, which is going that extra step. And that's it. So now it's time to make the alcapurrias. Okay, so here I have my masa, my meat. I have some achiote still in the mason jar. So what I come and do is I take my spoon, I dip it in, and I'll just add a little bit on the plate, just a little bit, so nothing can get stuck. Then I'm gonna come with the same spoon and I'm gonna add 2 spoons, just like this. I hope you guys can see. Let me do it this way. And then I'm gonna come and I'm gonna flatten it out. You can make it as big as small as you want, but me, I like to be greedy, so I like to make it big. We make it like this. You want to make it flat, but not too flat that it's gonna be thin on the bottom, you know. So once it's like this, you come and you add your meat right to the middle. You add as much as you want, just like that. And then you come with the masa spoon again and you just start moving it upwards, just like this. Sorry for the noise, but this is the only way I do it. And then you start just bringing it up like this, so you can start covering it completely. And you want to do this from all sides, just like this. Once you have it covered completely, then you start shaping it the way you want. But until then, you wanna, and if you feel like you need more masa on top, then go for it, add a little extra. But I feel like you want everything to be nice and even. So this is my alcapurria. It's covered on the top now, and I'm just gonna start shaping it. I mean, a lot of people do it in parchment paper. It is easy that way, but I think this is easier. And there you go. So then the only thing is that you got to be very careful, because now you got to push this to the side, just like this. Because when you go to put it in the oil, you don't want it to be in the middle, because then by the time you get into the oil, it's just gonna break apart. So right now I have my oil heating up on medium. You always want to double check if it's hot with a little piece of the masa, because when you put this in the oil, you want it to be hot. Okay, so we're gonna check right now if my oil is hot. Okay, so we're gonna come and add a little piece of masa to see if it's hot. Once you see the bubbles coming out like that, it's because it's ready. So what I'm gonna do is remove that, and then we're gonna start adding our alcapurria. So what I like to do is put my plate really close. You have to be very careful doing it this way, because you can get burned with the oil. So I come, once I see that it's really, I hope you guys can see. Okay, once I see that it's really close to the plate, then I put the plate really close to the pan, and I just drop it in. Once it's in, then I can come and I can fix it a little bit, just like that. So what I like to do while it's cooking in the bottom and the sides is add the oil on top. Another tip this is very greasy, so I recommend that you fill up the pan halfway with oil because you want it to be almost deep fried in it. You want it to cook from all angles. So it needs to cook from the side and the bottom. Don't worry so much about the top because like I said, you can throw oil, and then once the bottom is ready, then you can come and you can flip it. But trust me, use that oil. You see how it's starting to get brown on the top because I'm throwing the oil on top. Okay, so you just want to go gently from the bottom and move it because you don't want it to get stuck. You want it to move around like this. Okay. You let this cook 2 to 3 minutes depending on how you have your flames and your oil. So we're gonna let that cook a little bit. Okay, so now this is ready to flip over. You want to come with a fork and a spoon so I can help you, and just flip it just like that. And we're gonna let that cook 2 to 3 minutes on that side. Okay, so this has been cooking 2 to 3 minutes. What you want to come and do is flip it over one more time and let it cook 1 more minute. And then we're gonna flip it over one more time, let it cook 1 minute, and then this is done. Okay, so I'm gonna flip it over one more time. Okay everyone, so I'm gonna turn off my flames and I'm gonna remove my alcapurria.